The message arrived at 2:17 in the morning, a time when the world feels thinner, as if reality itself is holding its breath. Arman had not been asleep. He hadn't truly slept in weeks, not since the silence began to stretch longer than the memories could fill. His phone lit up on the cracked wooden table beside his bed, casting a pale glow across the room that smelled faintly of dust and old paper. Unknown number. He stared at it for a long time before picking it up, as if touching it might confirm something he wasn't ready to believe. The message was simple. Watch this. Below it, a link. He almost laughed. Almost. The kind of laugh that doesn't reach your throat. The kind that collapses before it becomes sound. He had spent months ignoring people, ignoring calls, ignoring the world itself. And now at 2:17 a.m., something anonymous wanted his attention. He should have ignored it. But loneliness has a way of lowering your defenses, of making even the smallest connection feel like oxygen. He tapped the link. The video opened instantly. At first it was just darkness, a few seconds of silence. Then a flicker, like an old camera struggling to find focus. The image stabilized, and Arman leaned forward without realizing it. It was a park. Not just any park, his park. The one near his childhood home. The one with the crooked iron gate and the broken swing that always creaked louder than it should. His chest tightened. The camera moved slowly, as if someone was walking, filming without care for composition. Leaves crunched faintly underfoot. The sound was too real, too familiar. "This isn't funny," he whispered to the empty room, but no one answered. The video continued. The camera passed the old bench near the fountain, the one he used to sit on during long afternoons when the world felt too loud. And then it stopped. Someone was sitting there, a figure. Arman squinted, his breath catching. It was him, not just someone who looked like him. It was him, wearing the same faded jacket he hadn't touched in years, sitting exactly as he used to, elbows on knees, staring at nothing. "That's impossible," he said, louder now, as if saying it might make it true. The figure in the video slowly lifted its head and looked directly into the camera. No, not the camera. At him. Arman dropped the phone. It hit the floor with a dull thud, the screen still glowing. For a moment he couldn't move. His heartbeat roared in his ears, drowning out everything else. He forced himself to pick it up again. The video had ended. Below it, another message. "Go there." His throat felt dry. He looked at the time. 2:23 a.m. The park was 20 minutes away. He told himself he wouldn't go, that this was some elaborate prank, some cruel joke played by someone who knew him too well. But even as he thought it, he was already reaching for his shoes. The streets were empty when he stepped outside. The air was cool, carrying the faint scent of damp earth. Every sound seemed amplified in the stillness, his footsteps echoing slightly as he walked. He tried to convince himself to turn back. Every logical part of him screamed that this was a mistake. But something deeper pulled him forward. Maybe it was curiosity. Maybe it was fear. Or maybe it was the quiet, desperate hope that somehow, impossibly, this meant something. The park gate stood open. It was never open at this hour. Arman hesitated at the entrance, his hand brushing against the cold iron. For a moment he thought about leaving, about pretending none of this had happened. Then the wind shifted, carrying a familiar sound, the faint creak of a swing. He stepped inside. The park looked exactly as it had in the video. The same shadows, the same soft rustling of leaves. His heart pounded harder with each step. "Hello?" he called out. No answer. He moved deeper into the park, his eyes scanning every corner, every shadow. And then he saw it, the bench, and someone sitting on it. His breath caught. The figure looked up. It was him, not just similar, not a trick of light or imagination. It was him, older somehow, or maybe just more tired. The same face, the same eyes, but heavier, as if carrying something Arman couldn't yet see. "You took your time," the other him said. The voice was identical. Arman felt his legs weaken. What is this?" The other him gestured to the empty space beside him. "Sit." "I'm not." "Sit," the voice repeated, softer this time, but firmer. Something in that tone made Arman obey. He sat down, leaving a small gap between them, as if distance could protect him from whatever this was. For a moment, neither of them spoke. The silence was unbearable. Finally, Arman said, "Am I dreaming?" "No." "Then explain this." The other him sighed, leaning back against the bench. "I don't have much time, so I'll make this simple. I'm you. Not now, later." Arman shook his head immediately. "That's not possible. Neither is ignoring everything you've been running from." The other him replied calmly. The words hit harder than Arman expected. "I'm not running," he said too quickly. The other him turned his head, meeting his gaze. "You haven't answered a single call from her in weeks." Arman's chest tightened. "Don't," he said quietly. "You think silence makes things easier," the other him continued, ignoring him. "You think if you avoid it long enough, the pain will fade on its own." "I said don't." "But it doesn't," the voice went on, relentless. "It grows. It spreads. Until one day, you wake up and realize you've lost more than you ever meant to." Arman stood up abruptly. "Stop it." The other him didn't move. "You already know I'm right." "I don't even know what this is," Arman snapped. "Some kind of hallucination? A breakdown? Call it whatever helps you sleep," the other him said. "But you came here, didn't you?" Arman clenched his fists. "Why are you here?" A long pause. Then softly, "Because I didn't come back." The words hung in the air. "What does that mean?" Arman asked. "It means I let it all slip away," the other him said. "I kept waiting for the right moment to fix things, to say the things I should have said. And that moment never came." Arman felt something crack inside him. "She waited," the other him continued, "longer than anyone should. And then she stopped. The wind picked up slightly, rustling the leaves around them. I tried to find her later," he said. "Tried to fix it. But some things don't come back." Arman swallowed hard. "You're lying." "I wish I was." Silence fell again. Arman's mind raced, trying to find a way to dismiss all of this, to rationalize it into something safe and explainable. But the weight of the words pressed down on him, heavy and undeniable. "What do you want from me?" he asked finally. The other him looked at him, something softer in his expression now. "I want you to not become me." Arman laughed bitterly. "That's convenient." "Is it?" the other him asked. "Or is it the only chance you're going to get?" Arman didn't answer. The other him reached into his pocket and pulled out a phone. He held it out. "Call her." Arman stared at it. "I can't." "You can." "I don't even know what to say." "Say anything," the other him said. "Say you're sorry. Say you're scared. Say you don't know how to fix it. Just don't say nothing." Arman's hands trembled. "What if it's too late?" The other him's expression softened further, almost painfully so. "Then at least you won't spend the rest of your life wondering what would have happened if you tried." Arman took the phone slowly, as if it might disappear. The screen was already open to her name. His heart pounded so hard it hurt. "I'm afraid," he admitted. "I know," the other him said. For a moment, Arman just stood there, staring at the screen, his thumb hovering over the call button. Then, before he could change his mind, he pressed it. The ringing felt endless. 1 second, 2, 3. He almost hung up. Then she answered. "Hello?" Her voice was softer than he remembered, but it carried the same warmth, the same familiarity that made his chest ache. Arman closed his eyes. "Hi," he said, his voice barely steady. A pause. "Arman?" "Yeah." Another pause, heavier this time. "I didn't think you'd call," she said. "I know," he replied. "I should have sooner." Silence again, but it felt different now. Not empty, but waiting. "I'm sorry," he said, the words finally breaking free. "I didn't know how to face it. I didn't know how to face you." Her breath hitched slightly on the other end. "You don't have to have it all figured out," she said quietly. "I know that now," he replied. He opened his eyes. The bench beside him was empty. The other him was gone. The park felt different now. Lighter somehow. "Can we talk?" he asked. "Yes," she said. And for the first time in a long while, Arman felt something shift inside him. Not everything was fixed. Not everything was certain. But something had changed. And sometimes that's where everything begins.